What's up, everyone? This is Mythic Talks. We have on board tonight with us. We have Mr. Epic Beast, only use a frag, Quick Fuse, and me, myself, Legendary C4, and we're gonna be just discussing the last few opens as well as the HCS Atlanta Land that just took place last weekend. Just to do a little recap. We've been talking here behind the scenes about what took place here the past couple weeks, or past month, should I say? What happened on the online? We had Open number Series 8, which I'm just going to go ahead through some of the notable teams that played in this. We had Yellow Brick Road, which was Renegade, Eco Stellar, and Trippy. We had Native Gaming. We had Sentinels. We had Pure, Shopify. We had Complexity and Cloud9. Ultimately, it went up to a grand finals with a Rebellion Sentinels matchup where Rebellion took the whole Open 3-1. We had also Open Series number 9, which took place on June 23rd through the 27th. With a lot of decent teams in this one as well. You had Space Station, FaZe, Pure. We had Rebellion once again, Optic Gaming. We had Native Gaming, of course, back in it, and Complexity. With actually the only two remaining teams in this would have been FaZe and Space Station, where FaZe lost the first set of grand finals 3-0, where Space Station reset it and ultimately beat FaZe in the second part of the reset 3-1. So there's a little bit of a recap on that. And then last but not least, we had the qualifier leading up on June 29th through the 30th with Cloud9. We had Pure take place in this as well. Native Gaming. Pure, I think which open was it? They actually took down Rebellion. I think it was the last open before that, 3-2. And I just wanted to make a note. Yeah, but we had Complexity and Pure in the grand finals. Pure reset the bracket 3-0. Complexity ended up winning, but they had to win this one to qualify for pools. From what Mr. Beast just said to me, they beat Pure in the reset 3-1. But yeah, that little update. We didn't get to see this at the LAN. That was Pure taking on Shopify in, I believe, the losers bracket at one point, and Pure actually beat them 3-2, I do believe. Let me find this real quick, because this is something we were talking about. We would love to see this matchup.
Yeah, it was
on LAN.
It was the second one.
Was it? Okay.
I think. Yeah. They beat Rebellion 3-2 in lower bracket 59, and then they lost to Space Station.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. So yeah, let's just talk about that. Like, we have these few qualifiers and or the qualifier and these two open series. What were some of the notable things you saw leading up into this Beast as the LAN started this past weekend?
I think notable things that I saw was, Complexity winning out in the final qualifier to secure pool play as their only route. I know you touched on that, but I think that was really cool to see, like Complexity beating a team like Pure, who we just saw get top 4. We'll talk about that later. But I think Complexity, they just had some roster changes. They had the whole Spartan drama. They got Rain out of retirement.
Yeah.
And they haven't had a ton of time together. Like, that was their first LAN together. And I don't think a lot of teams gave them enough credit. Like, I know they had a bit of an easier route on the actual LAN, but they still got top 8, right?
Yeah, I do believe they still got top 8. I got the bracket pulled up, actually. Let's see. You're mentioning Complexity. Yeah, they got put out in the losers round 2, I do believe it says. Yeah, they got no. They beat Native Gaming 3-2, and
so they got top 8.
Yeah, so they went on to play Into the Breach, who actually beat them 3-0, which honestly is kind of impressive. You would expect Complexity to probably take on that team and beat them. I mean, honestly,
ITB is the top EU team right now. They proved that, beating Quadrant outright.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that's something to discredit. We've had a EU team in the top 6, I think, the last few majors. So losing out to the top EU team currently when you're a brand new roster pretty much this year,
yeah,
I think that's a pretty decent placing, especially with Rain coming out of retirement and losing Spartan and all of that stuff, losing Precision to overall. Like, they've had a lot of roster turmoil, and they still beat really established teams like Native Gaming, who they've played in every event. You know. like those players at least. Yeah, they had some roster moves as well, and like with Mickwin retiring and everything, but they still beat a team. Like they just brought someone out of retirement and got top 8. I think that's respectable, and I don't think they've been given credit from what I've seen on people online.
Yeah. Kelly, though, you and Ben, y'all have anything y'all want to bring up about these last few opens and everything before we jump into the land statistics and stuff?
No, I think you guys covered it off super nicely. The whole roster mania stuff with complexity and everything, that's probably the highlight of the opens, as Beast said. I think it's nice to see too. Lots of other teams are doing fairly well in the opens, like teams you haven't really heard of.
But I do. Go ahead, my bad.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, I do want to say though, like, do we not like somewhat agree that these online opens do contribute a part to the land like itself, like when you show up, like, because like I'm looking at it right now and we all know what happened at the land, right? But we see Space Station in the Open Series 9, Space Station beat Optic 3-1, they 3-0 Pure, and then they go to the grand finals and beat FaZe 3-0 and then 3-1. Doesn't that look pretty similar to what we saw in Atlanta? Like, I mean
what we saw in Atlanta was Space Station really not getting contested on anything. I think they were the winningest team that's ever made it through a LAN. So it was even more dominant than online. But yeah, they definitely showed off that dominance.
Gotta see who put them in the lower bracket. That's what I want to see here, because
who was on one that day?
Yeah, somebody was doing God's work at the moment. Yeah, it was actually Optic that put Space Station in losers bracket in that Series 9 Open. It was 3-0. That was kind of crazy.
Which is understandable. It seems like Optic has been one of the main teams taking games off SSG as of late. SSG usually has been coming out on top of that matchup, but big three is big three. They can depends on the day on who's beating who.
Yeah, so we can say without a doubt, like, Rebellion winning that first Open of June. Well, I wouldn't say at the very first. It's like I think there was one before that slightly, but it was the one like in the middle of June. They they didn't have a lot of they didn't have any really of the top 3 in that, so like easily won that. We can move on from that one, and then you got the grand finals, the second one, which was Space Station. You had some of the bigger teams playing that one, so that was nice to see. And then we had the qualifier, which none of the big 3 really played in that one, and then Complexity won. So now we can, get, we recapped all that. We can get on the main event. Yeah, like,
can I have one more thing from the?
No, go ahead.
I just want to shout out that our own squad, me, Quick, C4, and Fulcrum did participate in one of the opens and the qualifier. We did win a game, not a series, but we won a single match in the loser bracket on the first open. And we won 2 games in the qualifier, losing in a game 3.
You lost that again in a game 5.
Game 5. Which honestly, I think we're improving a bit. We had some wins in the tournament. So
yeah, we played in Series 8 and we lost in the first round to Underplayed. And then in the lower bracket, it was my buddy's team, Houdini. They were called, let's see, that's got to be wrong. Eclipse Ion? No, that can't be right, because
that's who we played.
It says 3-1. No, that's a different team. My bad. It's not.
Yeah, it was with Quantum. That's Quantum's team.
Oh yeah, it's Quantum's team. Yeah, we did take a game. There was another team. We played Houdini at one point, I believe.
Yeah, we played Wart, which was Houdini, Morningwood, Bandemonium.
That might have been in the previous one.
Center. No, that was That was the one before the LAN.
Oh, okay, I got you.
And 3-2 in actually the first round.
Yeah, that's Okay, so yeah, we did play in the qualifier. We played Lights Out, which was a pretty stacked team. You had Peach Twitchy, Bud, Lethal, and Dr. Juice.
Yeah, they beat us pretty good.
Let's see here.
we're trying.
Yeah, we're getting there. Like it's a work in progress. It's always fun to compete in these onlines. As much as we can as the schedule allows, but we'll get to hopefully get into some more of these next couple weeks, possibly. But yeah, I mean, Kelly and Ben, you haven't talked much. Anything like in Atlanta? I know you guys watched this one. What are y'all thoughts on Atlanta? Like, what do you want to bring up here? Because there was a lot of great games, a lot of great series.
Oh, where to start? Let's start with Pierre.
It's pure, yeah.
Pierre played absolutely unreal. It's nice to see Druck back on land in the States.
Yep.
I know lots of people were a little bit concerned because wasn't sure if he was going to be able to make it, and I think he is probably the catalyst of that team, to be honest.
Oh yeah, if they didn't have him, that wouldn't be the team. It wouldn't be the same.
No,
Pierre.
for sure.
Druck confirmation
that team.
Yeah,
and he's here for the rest of the season. So I think.
Yeah, and I do think though that he has to. The only reason why he can play, I think, is because he can't. He's not on a salaried org.
Yet we got people on Twitter trying to get him an org, and like, let's not push it too far. We want this man to compete.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Right?
I think he knows what he's doing. So whatever happens online happens online.
Yeah.
But I don't see them signing.
I think if it's the case where he can't sign because of the visa issues, then you probably should not sign. Like, I know everybody wants them to get an org. They deserve one. It's pretty obvious. They're pretty beasts. They're very talented people on that team. But if it's going to cause them not to be able to compete, yeah, you just need to forego that. You got 2 events left. Try to make it happen the best your ability. Play it out for the rest of the year, and then maybe
tell us how you do it.
Yeah. But yeah, Pierre, looking amazing. Like we were talking about, they beat Shopify in one of these online opens 3-2. Like that would have been a hell of a matchup to see. Like I would have loved to see both of them in the grand finals. Honestly, I think that would have been an electric series. And didn't happen.
I think seeing the top 3 getting knocked out and having 2 different teams.
Let's give Pierre the award for upset of the year.
Yeah, 3-0ing phase.
Absolutely.
Upset of Infinite.
Yeah, for sure.
That was beautiful.
What were you going to say about knocking the top 3 out, though, Kelly?
Yeah, well, it's going to be kind of interesting to see if there's going to be a team like Pure or Shopify or somebody who's finally going to get over that hurdle and knock the top 3 out and make it to the grand finals, right? Like over the course of the last year and this year so far, it's been either a space station optic or it's been a phase optic grand finals or space station versus phase, right? Like it's going to be interesting to see if we can get one of the other contenders, which Shopify is up there for sure. And I would say Pierre's pretty close to doing it too.
Or 2 different contenders.
Yeah, exactly. Like getting over that hurdle and getting out of the iciness that the top 3 teams have.
Yeah, and it's funny because Sentinels was one of those rosters that we were looking at maybe possibly doing it, but like now they're just not even in the spotlight anymore. Pure and Shopify have, since this last line, have literally taken that spotlight from them. Taking that 4th place, spot, so to speak. Unfortunately, FaZe got 5th, 6th. That's not normal for them, but Sentinel's not looking very good these last couple of at least the last event. They did pretty good in London, I think. I don't think they did as well, I feel like, in Atlanta, though. I don't know. I didn't get to really watch many of their games. I probably should go back and watch a few, but it just seems like Shopify and Pure were just, they were more on their shit this land. Yeah, they were
going through it.
Yeah.
I feel like Precision's a player that looks a lot better online than he does on LAN. Like until he can get like the performances that Precision does online to appear on LAN, it's going to be hard for them to like hit the highs that they did with Spartan.
Yeah.
Like because online he was like outperforming Spartan, honestly, and it's like I know Spartan's done for the year, but it was like almost like that roster change made sense.
Spartan.
And yeah, maybe it still does make sense with everything with how it played out. But at the time, I was like, "What? Why are you dropping Spartan for Precision?" But then, I think we got to see him show up on LAN.
No, I agree. I mean, they did a very They did a very great thing at London by taking a couple of games. I mean, it was looking scary for Space Station at one point. You know, they were just whooping Space Station's ass, and then, you know, Darth Boo Boo happened, and then everything turned around from there, and Space Station reverse swept them. You know, if they could, you know, contain that next time that they play one of these top teams, you know, they might have a chance. I just think, you know, doing things like that too early, you kind of lose your focus. You lose that rush, that momentum. You know, when you, I'm sorry to say it, because almost every time anybody's ever talked shit before a series is over, it's not ended very, very well for them. Let's just say that. You know, you got that one moment where Renegade like started teabagging people, you know, like mid game. Not the series is not even close to being over, and then they get beat. You know, that's been a while ago, like a couple years. But like, you know, let's keep it in the pants. You know what I'm saying? Like, so to speak. Like, you know, and maybe Sentinels, you know, will come out.
Keep your bag in your pants.
Maybe Sentinels will come back here the next land and actually do something. I'd like to see them. You know, I'd like to see them in the top 3 again. You know, they've been I think only top 4 this year for the most part. I think they got second.
That high?
They got second last year with I don't think they've gotten top.
Yeah, not this year because
No,
event 1
they haven't.
had
Yeah.
Spartan not in the right headspace when he was sick.
Yeah, because Arlington they got like top 12 or something.
That's top 16.
Yeah,
They
top
didn't make
16.
pool.
Yeah,
They didn't make bracket.
that's sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then London they got like what 5th, 6th I think, or 7th, 8th.
That was their best placing.
Yeah.
So wherever they got in London.
Yeah, I believe it was last year when they got top 4. They got second at the Invitational for Space Station.
SLC?
Yeah, that was the second. Think Worlds. I'm not sure about Worlds. They were.
I think they did pretty good.
Yeah, they did pretty good. I want to say they were like top 4, maybe something like that, close to.
Yeah, they were the 4th best team at the end of last year. So
Yeah.
there's probably reasons we said that.
I mean, I could look it up real quick. I'm right here, but yeah. I mean, I'd love to see them back in it. But yeah, let's see who else was playing hot this weekend.
Formal.
Oh God, yes.
I gotta give a shout out to Optic. That's the most passion I've seen them have this year. It seems like Formal is actually enjoying the game this last LAN, which I think that's scary for the other few weeks. I don't know if they were all like in it the first 2 events for London and for Arlington, but it seems like he's recaptured that passion, and if that can remain through practice for the SLC, and then if that can translate into SLC, I think we got a very hungry Optic Gaming right now.
They were very hyped this event. Like every little thing that happened.
Like Lucid just hit the clip of the Sentry that's still getting talked about, tweeted out by Ninja, hitting that overkill against Shopify on a Sunday. Like, I know it sucks to like come off that and hit a wall against Space Station, but I think that just gives them a drive. I think that gives them the drive to bring it to him next time.
Your mic is echoing, Ben. Just letting you
know. I think I don't want to give him a second.
But yeah, I did confirm that Sentinels did get 4th at Worlds. That's where I saw that or remember that from was the World standing. So, but yeah, that Lucid clip. If you haven't seen it, go to Halo Esports YouTube channel, check it out. I'm sure they've tweeted it out a million times. But
watch it with comms, watch it with casting.
Dude, you gotta watch it. You gotta watch it like all different ways, because like the comms itself were like freaking just fire. They were the whole team could feel that overkill through their bones, man. Like it literally just lit them on fire.
The no scope at the end.
Oh, so beautiful.
That was a great play.
You know, why not? I'll just pull it up here on the broadcast here. Let's see. But yeah, I was happy to see Pure play very well. Shopify played very well. Shopify got to bring it like on Sunday. For some reason, they just fall like a little bit short on Sundays. Not really entirely sure what's going on in their headspace. They seem to be doing very well in the first 2 days. They've got that, they got that flow, the synergies there. But for some reason, just on Sundays, man, it's just like really rough for them. Like they
just don't wake up.
Yeah, they can't find their footing. But here's that clip. I'm gonna play this.
Clip first.
Who wakes up better on Sunday?
These guys can't see it because I'm not sharing it, but like Lucid hits 2 body shots, Pick cleans it up, gets the freaking no scope. Like at the 4th and final kill, like absolutely nasty no scope. And the first time you've like ever seen Lucid get up out of his fucking chair, like at an event.
It's very rare for him to do that.
You don't see it on his stream either. Like he never gets that crazy.
Usually cold stone, like
he's a killer.
Nothing.
Yeah.
That passion is there for Optic. I just hope that Trippy and Penguin can heat up at the same time that Lucid and Formal are heating up.
Yeah.
Because when they won Worlds year 1, it was because they all were freaking they were all clipping. Like they were all hitting highlights. Like I remember seeing like Trippy getting highlights in the same event that Lucid, Formal, APG were getting highlights. It's like this one, it felt like it was kind of just Lucid and Formal, and I want all of them to be clicking, and then that's when they could like take over.
Yeah, you saw Penguin pop off in one game. He went on like an 11 kill streak. Sorry, Dead Zone. I said Penguin. Dead Zone, same thing, but like Dead Zone, he almost went on a running riot. Trippy was like literally the only one. Like we saw Formal pop off and we saw Lucid pop off. We didn't really see Trippy really pop off much. And like when Trippy pops the fuck off, that team is on a whole nother fucking level. It's like
then they're beating FaZe.
Yes.
That's like when like them versus FaZe in Arlington is like when Trippy's popping off. And they have those moments, but they got to do it for an entire weekend. And it's tough.
Oh yeah, you guys were watching the event at home, except for Frag. Me and him were both at the event. What else did y'all get to see on the stream? Because me and Ben didn't get to catch like every game on the main stream. Was there any other like series that you guys, saw that was like just really good? Something that we missed potentially, because there's a lot that you can miss it.
I would say we missed a lot.
Yeah, we missed
the event.
Yeah,
Quadrant into the breach. Yeah, I think it was cool to see the battle of the EU teams.
We saw the last round of that, I think, C4.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of that one. Not
I think we saw the very last part of that match.
Yeah, I missed a good portion of it because I was at work.
Yeah, I watched pretty much everything, but yeah, it was a lot of SSG domination, like real quick. Those series were all quick.
Yeah, I got
lost 3 maps all.
Yeah,
all
and
freaking
2
weekend.
of them were 2 Optic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they lost 1 in pool play, I believe, and then they lost the next 2, somewhere in the bracket, and it had to be because didn't Optic only win 1 against them?
1 in the grand final. Okay,
yeah,
so
I think it was.
Was there other one in pool play?
Let me look. I'll look real quick. Let's see.
They might have a 3-1 somewhere. I don't know.
Against 2 again.
Yeah, so they had to lose. I think they lost 2 in pool play. I think that's what it is. Because like they literally went round 1 winners and of semis. They lost no maps. They didn't lose a single fucking map.
I know they lost to Pure once in pools, like 1 round.
Yeah, so it had to be. If I can find, see if I can find pool play real quick.
Pure was in Optics pool.
Yeah, there was a match where a game where they went 3-1 or something.
That must have been just open or the winner bracket 1 or something. I think they might have played Pure. No, because Pure made it all the way to FaZe. I don't know.
So I got the stand-ins pulled up, but let me find the pool play.
But yeah, all the Pure Optic matches were really good. I think those game 5s were awesome.
Yeah, all the game 5s were amazing.
But I think one more thing I wanted to bring up with Shopify is just they clearly haven't won a game on a Sunday in 3 events into the year, which is wild. But I think we've seen like moments of their lapses, like over in London, they almost lost to Into the Breach, who didn't even make the bracket. And like when you're top 3 or top 4 team, you shouldn't be losing matches like that, or almost losing matches like that. It's not a good look, and I think
I got the final
They're
pool
very
play results
streaky
pulled
team.
up. So they lost. Yeah, actually, Space Station lost a map to Quadrant in pools, and they lost 1 to Native Gaming. Pure, where they at? Were actually
So
in
that
Bull
would've been
P.
it.
They were in Pool B with Optic.
Optic.
Yeah.
So they lost a game to Optic, a game to Quadrant, and a game to Native.
Yeah, Native Gaming taking it. Look, let's talk about Native Gaming real quick because we haven't talked about them at all. They take a game off of Space Station. That's kind of crazy, honestly, to be honest, because they struggled. We watched them in open bracket. I did it at one point. Play the what's it? Mind Freak. They played Mind Freak, Scoopmeister's team, and there was another team, and they barely made it out of that series. I mean, it was a 3-2 series. They barely edged by to get into pools, and I feel like with the people they got on that roster, they should be at least 3-1 in some of these other teams. Although I give Mindfreak credit, they are a really good team. We've played them before. I have personally. They're pretty damn solid. But yeah, Native Gaming really all of their online stuff in the opens have kind of translated to LAN. So it's not been very good for them, if you want my honest opinion.
I wonder if they egoed themselves in that match, because on the LVT stream when they were interviewing Dead Zone, he even said that Divine Minds, I already forgot the name.
Mind Freak?
Yeah,
Mind Freak.
Mind Freak is a really good team. A really good team. Now, granted, that could just be him saying it because it's his former teammates, but...
No, they're a very good team.
I mean, they got to the States pretty early, I think, and they were scrimming. So, they're definitely a team that was trying to bring it.
But yeah, but when you see them struggle with that type of team, it's not going to be good when they get the pools. They did beat Bittersweet 3-1 pretty convincingly. That's the kind of stuff I kind of expect to see out of them, but they're not going to be able to handle Quadrant and Space Station if they're getting 3-2 or only beating some of these teams 3-2, and then they're close series. I just don't see it happening for them. Unfortunately, it didn't. They only won one series in pool, so they went 1-2, and then when they got to the bracket, they were already put into the losers bracket, because they didn't have the best record there, and they got eliminated in the first round of losers by Complexity, which turned out to be a close series, 3-2. So there you go. Take what you will from that.
Yeah, the crazy thing too with that is Complexity went on to get 3-0'd by Into the Breach afterwards.
Right.
The next round.
These other teams stepping up.
They are, for sure, 100%. One quick shout out too is the last shot. I don't know if you guys noticed. They posted. There was a post about the highest damage. Piggy posted it on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Last shot had the highest damage at Atlanta per game.
He's a monster.
Yeah, dude's just. He's like in an interview. He's like, I just like to shoot my gun and help my teammates. That's all he said. It's just I like to shoot my gun. So he just. In my mind, I see him. I haven't get to watch his POV much, but I can just imagine him running around the map. He's popping a couple shots, dipping out of that fight, looking for another fight to pop shots on. And he's just kind of transversing the map without taking a lot of damage and just making sure he's living, in every engagement and just doing the most. You got to think when you do that, you're just kind of alternating your routes and you're staying alive. You're not taking those fights to the end, and you're just putting damage down. Yeah, man, you're gonna have a lot of damage probably by the end, especially if your teammates are cleaning it up and you're able to get more room to work with on the map. So,
probably putting all the FFA experience into play and team play.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Funny thing is, I don't think he practiced FFA much. When he was playing FFA, he didn't really practice a lot. I think the dude just fucking is just he's just a beast, man, on Aquarius. I think Aquarius. That particular map is one of his best, but he obviously did it on every map because he had the highest damage for the whole event. So
I definitely.
Yeah, but his Aquarius play was nuts. Yeah. If you actually got to see his POV.
Yeah, I definitely think he's probably in the conversation for one of the top individual slayers. He's not the person you want to be in a 1v1 against.
Oh no, I've been in some ones with him when I've played free for all, and the dude's very hard to fucking kill. I don't know. I can't really explain it. Like he's not a very wouldn't say he's like the fastest strafer, but he just dude hits his fucking shots, man. Like he does not miss.
It's the last shot.
He doesn't miss. I mean, I've had a couple of moments where I've been able to outgun him in free for all, but like I would say most engagements went in his favor for sure. Like he's just an absolute hoss. Like I can only imagine how that translates to fours. If like you can't kill this guy in a ones, like that's gonna be very bad for your team if he's picking you off. Like, you know. So yeah, it sucks for anybody that's got to face that guy.
And before we fully move on from talking about native gaming, I don't know, I've just been thinking about like what's so disappointing about them. And I think the biggest thing for me is all those players have hit higher points not playing together.
Mm-hmm.
Like APG clearly has hit the highest point you can hit.
Yeah.
With Optic, and then Tapping and Barcode and Gilkey, like they've gotten a top 3.
Yeah.
Like it's like, and they then you put those guys together, and the best they can get is top 12.
It's just
it's sad.
I mean it makes me sad for them. Like I feel, you know, you got to think like it's like you just said, APG's been at the highest point, literally winning the fucking world championship. He won 3 back-to-back lands. Then they won Fort Worth, and he's had plenty of second place finishes, and now he's like at the bottom, he's
barely making pools.
Yeah, barely making pools.
On paper, just doesn't translate to to practice.
You know,
get phased when they had the all-star roster, and they.
Not only is he barely making pools, he's barely making the fucking champ bracket because he only beats Bittersweet. Imagine if Bittersweet beat them, they wouldn't have made it in the champ bracket.
No!
They only beat them 3-1, and there's no telling how close those 3 games they won were. So, you know, I'm sure they were pretty close because, you know, I feel like Bittersweet would be, you know, I don't know, they would definitely be a contender against someone like Mind Freak. You know, they could probably beat that team, and so they're pretty much on the same playing field. So it could go really either way, just depending. But yeah, native gaming, man, I don't know. I feel bad. It hurts my soul to know that APG, once one of the, you know, the champions of the game, is now on this team that just seemed
one of the greats of the franchise.
Yeah, like he can't even find his footing. Like it doesn't matter. They had Mikwin, they had Collect, they had once had Neptune, and almost had Last Shot. I really don't even think Last Shot would have made a difference on this team.
I think it would have.
I think it would have. I just don't think it. I don't think it would have made a significant difference is what I'm trying to say.
Maybe I think that would have made a more of a top 8, top 6 conversation.
I think
Last Shot has that kind of power, in my opinion. I think he's one of the young guns of the future. And
no, there's no doubt.
Awesome to see that.
I think he would be a better if he was anybody you were going to remove from that team. I think Gilkey would probably be the guy. I don't know because like Barcode's still pretty young. Then you got Tapping Buttons, who's just, you know, obviously a powerhouse on the map. And then APG is a veteran, you know. Before that, you had Mikwin. I mean, I think a Mikwin APG Last Shot and maybe like a Tapping Button squad would have been pretty fucking nasty. But
do you think native gaming regrets dropping the wrong roster?
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to get on my dogs. They were arguing.
Like
if they want to have holding power and position in like in the rankings, they definitely regret dropping the roster they did.
They dropped the wrong team, and it didn't exactly feel like that at first, but that's something that's starting to play out.
Well, it looked like that. You think like Native White last year got third place or 4th place, I think it was. Yeah, Charlotte. I think it was 4th. That was a highlight for him. That was Barcode, that was Gilkey, Mikwin, and that was Tapping Buttons. You know, and now like, you know, you had the Druk issue last year, and that's really the main reason why they had to drop that team because Druk just couldn't be. But dude, just think if they
wanted to go their own ways anyways.
That team still performed pretty good without Druk.
Yeah,
even last year. Like,
oh no, there was no doubt. They definitely made the wrong choice. That's for sure.
Yeah, they started to get outclassed by 10 later in the season, but they were still in that 5th, 6th. They were better than they are this year.
If they would have kept Red, and there was a number of people that they could have picked up between now and when that happened, Like there could have been a better team at that point, or just as good of a team. You know, like look, they lost someone. They had Spartan opened up at one point. Precision was available at one point. Just so many other things. There's so many other people they could have picked up instead of just disbanding the roster. But I also think they wanted to do that. I think they wanted to go separate ways at some point.
Well, I guess Shopify taking like Suppressed and Soul Snipe was a big thing.
Yeah, I'm talking about like on Soul Snipe's tweet. I think it was Soul Snipe that made a tweet about, wanting to go their separate ways.
Yeah, and I do get that. Like, they're not going to wait around their whole careers for Druck to be able to play. But still, it makes you think, like, even if they held on and they had, like, Druck and Talik still, they would be better off, like, than they are now.
Oh, man, Lucid out here with the good ideas.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, Druck being with Soul Snipe was definitely, like, it was nice to see, like, a team kind of stick together.
Top 3 at Worlds.
I think, yeah, and I think what Soul Snipe's doing now with Suppressed and that squad, I think is working out a lot better.
He's playing way better.
Yeah, he's playing way better. He's getting out of his comfort zone. He's not playing. He's obviously probably still playing somewhat of a similar style of gameplay, but like being able to play with a variety of different players, I think will help you learn the game a little bit better, and it's obviously showing. So.
And that Shopify roster is very similar to how that Native Red roster played. They play fast and they fly everywhere. They're different players, some of them, but still half that team.
But I'll be honest, man. I'll be dead honest. Like if there wasn't this issue that's the rumored for Druck to be in the air where he can't make it to the States because of the visa issue and like being signed to a team. If I was Native Gaming at this point, I would drop the fuck out of that team and I'd pick up Pure, dude. I'd be like, you're my fucking team. If there wasn't an issue, I'd just be like, look, I'm done with y'all. Like y'all suck. Let me get these guys.
Players too. Like they were Native Red when they got third at Worlds. They were Native Red all last year and they were one of the better teams.
And obviously, I mean, there's probably there's no bad blood between any of them, so like it'd be like a perfect pickup, if the visa was going to allow him to be salaried, which we don't know what the case is. We're just kind of speculating on that, but like, I think that would be the team, and then mentioning it, let's just talk about like straight ripping, like dead silence from them, for the most part, since they've been reintroduced to the scene. They claimed that they were going to pick up a roster. Like, where's T-Squared when we need him? Like, why isn't he?
Yeah, sounding a lot like Fnatic.
What it was?
Yeah.
What did we hear at Atlanta C4? That he was taking a break.
Yeah, we heard he was taking a break. He literally did though post he posted like a prediction forum where you could put your predictions in there. Posted it to the main straight ripping account, but like other than that, like he hasn't done anything. Like he's released some merch at Arlington. He was
break from what?
He claimed there was going to be a booth at London. That didn't happen, probably because of money reasons, I'm sure. And
it kind of just seems like a cash grab, but
at this point, I'm not going to deny that it does seem like a cash grab. I like straight ripping. I like T-Squared, cool dude, I guess. I don't know much about him other than that fact that he's played Halo, but like, yeah, I really can't disagree with that statement.
I know he shares the name with my company's CEO.
I mean, where's the production? He's done a couple community night play dates. I know. He's released some merch, and then he's posted some some blog updates and like and just he's tried to be a part of the community with like these predictions that he's put out. But other than that, like,
I mean, they made it sound like they're gonna have some sort of stream or something. Like LVT was jumping in, like, "What are you doing?" And
it sounds like they should be.
You encroaching on our space.
If anything, like, yeah, you might have some production capabilities and skills and things, but like, if anything, you should be working alongside LVT and not trying to be like make your own production shit like that.
Well, I mean,
would save you money, honestly.
But we haven't even seen anything.
No, we haven't seen nothing.
Any sort of production. I haven't seen a video. I haven't seen a
LBTX straight ripping.
I mean, we didn't see anything at Atlanta. Me and Ben didn't see nothing straight ripping at Atlanta.
No. I think I saw people wearing the hoodie, but that's about it.
Yeah.
I just hate when someone says they're going to do something and then it's just radio silence. Like, It's kind of weird.
Yeah, that's why I don't like to post things like some, like if I'm not entirely sure if it's not going to be able to happen, or like I'm going to be off schedule, or I'm not going to have enough time to do such thing. Like I just try to refrain from like posting, making announcements at all. Like, of course I'm not anywhere close to any of these guys in terms of like brand or anything. Like I don't really take it that seriously, to be honest. But like, yeah, if you're going to be like serious and you're making those kind of claims, you kind of like need to follow up with it. I don't see what like Ben said, what kind of break do you need here? Like it's only been a few months.
I mean, it's the truth. Like what?
Yeah.
So
what break do you need if you haven't done anything? What break
you
other than, I mean, I don't know what's going on here outside the space, but.
Well, you came into a dark time in Halo. This is you came into a dark time back in like March or February, whatever the hell you announced your collaboration. You came during a dark fucking time. Let's be completely fucking honest. Now is even darker because the servers aren't working. And I'm not trying to bring that up because of that, but like, yeah, Halo kind of needs you if you're gonna be a brand. You need to be here now. This is the time to be here. You know what I'm saying?
There are people as a brand I wish were still here, but
yeah.
So, C4, did you guys want to talk about some of the highlights of actually attending the event in Atlanta?
Oh yeah, let's bring that up. Good stuff. Ben, you can go first if you want.
I just enjoyed the whole thing. I don't think, like, other than getting to see pure drop phase the losers, like that was the tip of the iceberg for me.
Yeah, I'll kind of run through the whole event. I'm gonna be dropping a video. I've got it pretty much fully edited. I just need to export it out and then actually upload it. But it has a little tour and it has a little bit of some of the trash talk highlights from the open bracket. Yeah, day one pretty good. Got there kind of early. Walked through the whole venue. I like the whole setup. The venue was pretty dope. It's just obviously it was a basketball stadium for the WNBA. I think it's probably one of the best venues out of all of the events I've been to, other than maybe the Salt Lake City event that happened last year. That one's a little bit smaller scale, but it was very like intimate and very dope. And then Worlds is always great. And then I'll say Arlington's stadium is pretty cool too, like for the main stage. But this main stage was pretty cool because of the bowl. Like you had the bleachers you can sit in. I really don't like bleachers just because of like how tight it is of a fit. My big tall ass trying to get through people in the middle and stuff.
Probably the biggest downside.
That was probably the biggest downside. Yeah, and it's kind of they're obviously bleachers are pretty uncomfortable. It's hard to stretch out for somebody like my height, but me and Ben got like one of the top, like I wouldn't say it was a balcony, but I'll just call it a balcony anyways. Kind of like a balcony seat. It was really
the outer ring.
Yeah, the outer
all the way up top.
Yeah,
they were good.
Yeah, they were great.
Comfortable.
Yeah, I know you had actual chairs. A couple of them. There was some bleachers.
You could stretch and take all the room you wanted.
Bathrooms behind you, concession stand, like just like a 10-second walk to those.
Right in front of SSG's booth.
Yeah, my dog is going crazy. Yeah, right in front of SSG's booth. I off and on between the games, I was going over there and playing the Halo Drop Pod game, which was pretty dope. Got the high score day one.
That's C4's biggest highlight. I want everyone to know.
It's like literally the funnest thing that I had fun with. You
won the Instinct hoodie, right?
No, I bought that. I won the reflective like raincoat that they were selling. Okay. I hit 139, which was very hard. Like on the score.
I went to the grand finals raffle, and I had C4 sticking in my left hand and my ticket in my right hand.
Yeah, and then Ben won the instant hoodie.
Won the instant hoodie after already buying 2 of them.
So 343 or Halo, they didn't have a booth at all?
No, so they didn't have any merch. There was no HCS merch,
booth.
No Halo merch.
They weren't like giving away anything in the crowd either.
They were giving away stuff. They were throwing at one point the little, I've got one one of the white Spartan helmets, like the ones you can hold in the palm of your hand.
3D printed helmets.
And then I think those were injection molded. They look like 3D printed ones basically. But like they were giving away graphics cards. They gave away like a needler. You know, they were doing
So
rock, paper,
just like
scissors.
Worlds, they do still do that. I wasn't sure if that was just a Worlds thing.
No, they do it at every event.
No, they do them every event.
This time they had some trivia, and then they were like going through and giving people like a lifeline, like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire type thing, like, and you could, you know, answer the question and win a prize. That was pretty cool.
Do they
the
do
cards...
any sort of community stage or no?
No, they didn't have. No, it's only
No.
Worlds only.
Okay.
Yeah. What were we gonna say?
For the guy with the cards, the Running Riot.
Oh yeah, Running Riot. Shout out
That
him.
was super cool.
Go follow that guy. We'll put links in the description. Go follow that guy. Like he he was awesome. He actually found me on day one. I wasn't even looking for him. He just kind of came up to me and he recognized me because I'd been liking and retweeting all of his tweets leading up to that. But
he's doing cool stuff.
Yeah, he gave me some cards. I got to choose pretty much the ones I wanted right off the rip before they all got gone. Then he was doing multiple giveaways. He was doing at least 2 giveaways per day where he would tweet where he was at and you could go find him. There was pretty much, I wouldn't say like a very, very long line, but there was a significant line for those cards. There was lots of people.
I would say it was a long line.
There was like 30, 40 people.
It moved
probably
fast because it was free.
Yeah, there was at least 30, 40 people each time that we went, I feel like, that were lined up to get those cards.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and he was going around and handing them out to pros and casters as well, which is cool. He's going to make more for Salt Lake. He's actually looking for people to help him out with like investing for like, you know, if you help him out with like the money, like he'll give you like a full set he's going to use, basically his idea was to take the media day from the previous event. Like, so for Salt Lake, he would take the Atlanta media day pictures and make cards out of those. Well, he had London's for this event, so anything you've seen on those cards was from London. But so there were still Spartan complexity cards and Descendant complexity cards, even though they're no longer on those teams. So, and he also had holographic ones, which was pretty cool. I didn't actually get any of those.
The team card for Sentinels is holographic, and I think I had Clutch.
I did get Lottie to sign mine though. I got a card, her card, and then got her to sign it, so that was cool. But yeah, like
sweet.
The food wasn't bad. Like I had the Master Chief double stack burger. It was he didn't like it.
Food.
Yeah, it wasn't. I wouldn't say it was. It was just named. They actually, like, I'll give them credit for the effort because this is literally the first event I think where they've actually named the food after Halo. Yeah, even though it wasn't anything special.
4 different concessions for food.
Yeah, they had the one with the Halo names, which was like they had like the Master Chief double stack.
It was like 3 or 4.
I think they had, what was the hot dog called? It was like Master Chief's hot dog or wiener. I don't know.
I don't remember. I don't even remember.
They had an Arbiter green salad. I've got a picture of it. I took a picture of the menu. Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up.
Everything on the menu looked great, other than I actually had that Master Chief double stack and I hated it.
They had the Cortana
picky
fruit cup, the Forerunner grilled chicken Caesar salad.
I hope Worlds can step up their food game because that sounds a lot better than what I've experienced at Worlds.
It's in the same spot.
The Worlds food is very lackluster in my opinion.
This food, I'm gonna be honest. Like, as I've had food at all these events. They did have Papa John's at this event too, so that was another.
Yeah,
one.
that was.
So like,
3,
you get
and then there's that bar.
Yeah, and then there was like a bar.
That we went to.
I don't even know how you pronounce that bar.
Yeah, they didn't have
Nova,
VIP, so anyone could have bought alcohol, which is cool. That's another complaint about Worlds is you got to be VIP to buy alcohol.
Yeah, that bar was really good food.
The place we went to the night before, like the actual restaurant, they had a concession in the venue.
Yeah, it was called Nova. Yeah, Nova Bar. I'm just gonna call it. Yeah, no, that sounds right. So yeah, we went. It was funny because me and Ben didn't realize this. We went to the bar on Saturday night. I believe was it Friday night? Might have been Friday. It was Friday night.
The night I got there.
It was Friday. Yeah, it was Friday night. So we go there, and the next day, like, I didn't look at all the concessions because there was, like you said, there was like 3, and it was actually them set up there. They had like catfish.
They were empty though.
They had wings.
They were empty. There was never a line.
Yeah, there was like never anybody going there. I don't know why.
They were too expensive. They were too expensive.
That's probably what it was. Yeah.
Their bare minimum was $14.
Yeah,
bare minimum.
Yeah, the Spartan double stack burger was pretty good. I liked that. It was honestly my favorite thing. It was actually it was like big as fuck for a burger, bro. Like that thing was huge, and so it was worth the $10 in my opinion. Then you had the Covenant chicken tenders and the precursors black bean burger.
The tendies were great.
Dude, everybody was buying the chicken tenders.
Well, I heard they had waffle fries.
The waffle fries were next level. Those were
good.
Perfect.
Those were good. They reminded me of Backyard Burger waffle fries. So they were pretty good. I just got the burger. I got the burger twice, maybe 3 times actually. I don't know. When I go to these events, I don't really care to get chicken tenders, man. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I'm kind of chicken tendered out for the rest of my life, but like, I like chicken.
I mean, when you're going to an event for 3 days, I would be glad to have more food options. So I'm glad that sounds like that was available.
Yeah.
So if you're someone that's like doesn't want to leave the venue and like you're hanging out there,
I never want to leave the venue.
Especially it's where Atlanta was.
The only time I like to leave the venue is like if my car's parked outside or like something.
Yeah.
So I know that was one of the concerns pre-event was where the venue was located. Was it actually that sketchy?
No, not even remotely. No, not even, oh my god, people! I just want to.
That's the biggest waste of time.
I'm gonna touch on that part because these people are so fucking scared of life. It is beyond ridiculous. I'm so sorry, but College Park is nowhere near the fucking shady level that everybody made it out to be. Like, I think downtown Seattle is probably worse, and that's not even bad in my opinion, is worse than fucking College Park. Probably fucking threefold. Like, there was remotely no homeless people there in that part of town. You'd have to go downtown Atlanta to see homeless people. There was no homeless people over here. I saw people walking the streets, but like,
Seattle by the stadiums is like the worst part, and the convention center's on the other side of the city, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah, you don't see as many there. Yeah,
surrounded by big, fancy hotels. It wasn't just like Marriott's. It was like hotels that you don't see their names often. They're just known in Atlanta.
Yeah, like the Renaissance.
It was in a fancier area.
I think Piffin was staying at the Renaissance. There was like two or three different Marriotts there as well in that area. Like I said, it was very nice. Like where the stadium was pretty nice. The B&B that me and Frank had was in a pretty decent neighborhood. Like you saw nice cars, people walking their dogs, we're right across from a decent like community college. Yeah, it was nice. I mean, and where we ate our food too was also we went to Breakfast Boys and we parked in that neighborhood and it kind of reminded me of home. But
that was a nice neighborhood. It was a very nice neighborhood.
Yeah, it was very
nice. Would not want to live there personally because of the maintenance when it would rain, but that's besides the fact. Seeing how the houses were made, I was like,
And transportation, parking, that was fine.
Yeah, so like I fucked up. I'll tell you a little story about my trip Friday, because Thursday I got down there, no problems. Went out with Piffin. We ate at Louisiana Bistro with one of the pro refs, him and Piggy, and Dayquil and Wolf. It's pretty good food there too. And then, so I get there Friday. I'm leaving the B&B, and there's two gateway centers in fucking Atlanta. I don't know why you have two stadiums named the same fucking thing, but I didn't put the gateway at College Park. I just put the gateway, and it took me downtown Atlanta, which was nowhere near where the fucking venue was. And so it was like a 14-minute drive. That was my fuck up. So like I finally put in the right directions and I get there. And then the Google Maps sucks ass. I'm just going to say it. Like they're fucking awful. It did not take me to the gateway parking. It took me like before that, and like I had to go find parking near one of the hotels, and they had like a skylift entrance I guess you could take to get to the airport or some shit. And like I parked in there and it was like $20 a day for the first 2 hours and like $45 for a whole day, which is absolutely fucking ridiculous. Pricey. Yes. So my dumb ass.
What I paid in Seattle.
So yeah, so I parked the car, get my ticket, and then I start walking down to the venue. It's like a 10-minute walk basically from where I parked. And then I get down there and realize, because Google Maps sucks, I realized that there's parking right there near the fucking entrance. So I was like,
for 15.
Yeah, it was like 30 minutes before the venue opened. I was like, I ran my ass back. I literally fucking jogged back to my car so I could like get there on time, And get my car and like basically because it was gonna be $45 for the whole day, fucking no matter what at that other one. So it was like 15. But I saved like $3 in the end, I think. So I just said, fuck it, I'm gonna park my car down here because when I go buy merch, I don't want to have to tug this shit around, and I just go out to my car and put it in there, So the parking was pretty good. $15, pretty cheap if you want my opinion for most places. So
yeah, that's what it is in Seattle.
Yeah,
it's most times it's $15 anywhere you go around a convention center or like.
Shame on Google Maps. They suck, man. They got to get their shit together because that wasn't the first time they kind of gave me wrong directions in Atlanta. Like they've got to do better on that. Like fucking $1 trillion company fucking can't even direct you to the fucking right parking. But yeah, like I said, the food's good, parking decent. And you talk about merch. They didn't have any HCS merch. They had FaZe merch.
Was very low though because it was just a few things at FaZe. SSG once again, best merch table.
Obviously, they always have the best merch.
Sentinel had a handful of things, which they would probably be I'd probably say they were the second best.
I love the Sen booth because they always got the props, and
they always had the props. Yeah, that was nice.
Holding a battle rifle, like
Native had 4 items, and I think FaZe had 4 or 5 items. So
yeah, and Josh, I remember like Pro Talk, they were talking about the FaZe merch. Like he was dogging on the fact that they only had 3 items, but like and then Native Gaming had 4, and it's like, but FaZe's merch was way better. Sorry, in my opinion, than Native Gaming's merch.
Native very just plain. It was like it was just a red shirt.
It literally had a hat that said Native Gaming on it in the most basic font that you could probably possibly find. It's
I think I'm a big fan of making the jersey look like the Spartan skin in the game.
Yeah.
I wish we had that for every team. That would be sweet.
I agree.
Yeah.
Because that's like really a cool collab.
I just think the orgs definitely need to get more. They got to look at what Space Station's doing and get more creative with their merch.
I think Space Station always has a game. Like it's always a different game. Like you said, that was your highlight. And then I know at Worlds Year 1 they had like cornhole.
They had like skee ball too, I think. Or no,
they didn't just have that.
It was low. They had ladder. They had ladder ball the first year.
Yeah. But then they had cornhole one. They're doing like rock paper scissors. They're really engaged with the audience, and there's people like hanging out with them. And it's like that's how it should be. Like the other booths are sometimes a little empty. There's maybe like one person behind a computer just chilling there.
You should have seen Native Game.
Yeah,
you should have saw Native. Those guys looked so bored. They were so bored.
I couldn't count. Go ahead.
And then like Optic, usually when they have a booth, they have like some computers set up and you can freaking game with them or something. But I think it's always a highlight when the merch booths give you something to do, because some people, you get a little bored at an event from just watching, and sometimes you need a break from watching Halo, and it's like, oh, you get to go tour the merch booths and do something. I think that's cool.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the first things I literally do when I walk in the door before I go anywhere. Before I go get on the in the open bracket or like try to check that out. I literally walk my happy ass over to Space Station's booth. There's like the first booth I go to. I'm picking up whatever exclusive merch they have, any freebies they got on the table. They had a lot of freebies. They had some keycaps, which I got some for you guys too. I'll bring
one of those from Worlds. I got a keycap.
These are Georgia Peaches.
Nice. Like I know they were giving out wristbands for free and stickers and.
Yeah, they had a bunch of stickers this time too. They're always on point with that though.
They're great. I mean, like in terms of the orgs in Halo and being active with the community, like none of them beat SSG. There's only one other org that came close, and guess they're not here no more.
Wait, who was that?
Kansas KCP.
Oh yeah.
For what they were doing for the community, I won't say at the events because I didn't go to an event when they were a thing. But what they were doing for Halo and to not get that boot camp in the program.
Well, it was down to their financials.
Yeah,
they would have better financials.
They were doing essentially all the same things that SSG did, obviously before SSG because they were in the program.
Yeah, but
Kansas City was already jumping on all that, and they couldn't keep up with it.
But yeah, I want to touch on the merch too for a second because like Josh was dogging on the FaZe merch, right? The jersey was dope. I thought he didn't like the shirts. I thought the shirts were really cool, and I don't know if anybody's seen it, the shirts, but they had Renegade and Frosty on one, and they had stats like fighter stats. I thought that was a very unique approach to merch. Like I've never seen anybody do this, out of all 3 years I've been going. And then they had another one. You had Royal 2 and Snakebite. He thought that was just very uncreative for some reason. And I'm like, I thought they were pretty cool. Like I didn't see a problem. Like yeah, they could have probably had some more merch.
They are for sale on their website.
Nice, there are. Okay, cool.
I also heard from a lot of people that those stats weren't correct.
They're all sold out.
Yeah, they had them on hoodies and shirts.
Yeah, they had them on hoodies too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool shirt. I see it has like the Halo Championship Series logo in the middle, and then it has like their.
Yeah,
but there was a lot of people running around saying that the stats weren't correct.
No, I don't expect them to be correct. It's just a freaking. It's just a
like
cool
I mean
idea.
like
yeah.
Stats that obviously like Frosty has better than X, Y, or Z. It wasn't in accordance. Like they were just random numbers to whatever.
Yeah,
criteria they put up.
It was definitely random. You could tell because like it was saying Renegade had a higher IQ than Frosty. I was like, okay. I was like, okay. I don't know about that one, but okay. I don't know about that one.
Even in the stats by looking at it online. That's nitpicking.
You take two of those two players and like you can't really say who's the smarter player. You know what I'm saying? Like those are two phenomenal players. Like it's pretty much neck and neck. For the most part. You might say one has a better shot, but like to say one has a better IQ, I don't know. That's up to debate.
I forgot that we need to bring up.
But yeah, Sentinels only had one exclusive shirt. It was pretty cool. Other than that, like their booth has pretty much been the same stickers. They had the assault rifle prop. This I think the first time I ever seen the fucking prop. That one. They've always had battle rifle and a pistol.
They had a bandit at Worlds.
Yeah, they had a bandit. Yeah, they had a bandit. Yeah, they had an assault rifle at this one. So that was pretty cool.
They had the assault rifle at Worlds too.
Did they? Okay.
Yeah, they had 4 at Worlds: pistol, bandit, assault rifle, and BR.
Ah, okay, all right. I didn't remember that. My bad.
Might have had a commando too, actually.
That'd be sweet. I don't think I've seen the commando yet.
I want to buy one of those.
Yeah, so their booth was. I would say like if you rated their booth out of 10, I'd say Sentinels gets a 7. Just to be they're a little above average. Native Gaming. I don't really want to rate their booth because they're not really a partnered org, but like, they had merch, they showed up, they get a. They're
also not like a top end, like on the top of the teams. So.
I give them a 6 for effort, for showing up.
You made the halfway point. You get a 5.
Yeah, you get
5.5.
You showed up. You showed up. You get some points.
5.5. You get a 5.5 out of 10.
Because we didn't see Optic. Optic wasn't there at all.
Yeah, you get a 0.
They did do some, I think, exclusive merch, but it was online only, and it wasn't very. I wouldn't say it wasn't bad, but it also wasn't like cool enough for me to probably buy it. It was just like green. It was like Wallace with like what Atlanta colors, I think. It wasn't too bad. I if they have it at Worlds, I might pick up a tee if they have some extras. I doubt they will. But
I will say Sen did have exclusive jackets that are typically only sold at Valorant events.
Ah, didn't know that.
So the 2 jackets they had, those are. I was talking to the guy that ran the booth. He said those jackets are usually only sold at Valorant events.
That's
and
interesting.
this may have been the only Halo event that they would have been available.
Yeah.
So there's a chance they'll be at Worlds, but not likely.
Okay.
I do like that Sen warm up jacket a lot. It's cool.
Like it was a black and red jacket, then there was the white black and red jacket. So they were $100 and $110, respectively. May never see them again at a Halo then.
Yeah, if Space Station gets a 10, FaZe gets
an 11.
FaZe gets an 8 for being there and having some merch. They could have had a bigger booth. I do agree with Josh on that. It wasn't really a booth. It was more like a table, And
for being their event,
they
should have had more.
Yeah, they should have had more. I think there should have been more. I don't really like using this word. I like to say activities, but I would say activations. They should have more activations. Like they should probably had a booth. Maybe they had the free PlayStation, but I feel like there could have been some more themed things.
It's their event. It's in their hometown. Like a lot more phase. Like people in the organization. I'm not saying like players, but like people within the organization there, like with activities and other things to do.
Yeah. But yeah, they LVT had a nice setup. You could really, you could literally just walk up and talk to them. So it was really cool to see them. Just being they were right there by the merch booth. So like you could just walk up and talk to them. They were taking content creators to come on and talk. I didn't actually go up and ask them if I could come on or not.
They had Boo Boo up on there for a while.
Yeah, they had a lot, dude. That's the one thing I got to go back because I've watched some of the things that they are the people they've had up there. I got to listen to Washi come up. They had King J, Talik. They had Hidden Xperia come up and talk. So they had a lot of different guests. So like you need to go check that out if you want to hear some inside scoops on some things, and I'm gonna go back and kind of watch that stuff before SOC comes up. But open bracket, we're kind of going long on here, but on this podcast. But I'll just go ahead and touch up. Like open bracket was a little crowded. They did what they could. They did what they could. They probably could have had pushed it back a little bit to the far back wall. There was a lot of space back there that was not utilized at all. So yeah, they could have.
There was a lot. Everything was done in heats. If I remember correctly, both open and FFA was all heats.
Mm-hmm. But I think the event overall was a success. It was definitely better than Optic's first try in an event. 2023, shout out to Arlington that year. Didn't go so hot on the reviews. Let's just say that they didn't do as much as they could. FaZe definitely did a better job. They also could have done more.
At least Optics all Sunday on their own event,
which is surprising because my expectations were pretty low with how long it took to announce the event. I felt like it was getting them on the back burner.
That probably did not help them at all.
No, I mean it didn't. Yeah, and let's just shout out, like you said, like Optic didn't make it to Sunday, neither did FaZe. They didn't make it, they did not make it. Poor FaZe couldn't make it to Sunday. That's not the first time, but
shout out to Goober for winning the FFA.
Oh yeah. Shout out Goob, my man Goob. Going ham. He said he almost got second rounded. He was in 5th place and had to secure 3 kills. We talked Friday night about it, and he barely made it past the second round. Very, very unheard of from that man. But the brackets and that were pretty stacked from the fucking get go, so it's very understandable. I got first rounded. I did not do very good. Ben watched me blow balls. I did not do good. It was so bad.
Yeah, I got first round because I hadn't played Halo in months prior to that. So
I played in the Halo 5 2v2 with Shrek the Memer, and we absolutely got shit on in that. I was not very warm. Halo 5 is not a game that you just pick up and play.
Dude,
very good.
I turned on
Go ahead.
I turned on someone's stream of Halo 5 today, and I was like, I don't think I could ever play that game again. Looking how slow it felt.
It's like a game that you need a few hours of practice in before you go and play.
Like the animations is just how things happen on screen. It just like when the character the Spartan started sprinting, it just felt so slow, and I was like, what is happening? What am I looking at?
There's just so many weird mechanics in that game that like never went anywhere.
I think given a week or two, I could pick Halo 5 back up again. It's just watching someone else do it is like that just feels slow.
Yeah, it definitely threw me off. The aim really threw me off. That's what threw me off the most. Was the aim, because like I was so garbage aiming. It was just terrible. But other than that, man, I think we can wrap this podcast up. That was I think FaZe did a great job with the event overall. There was probably a little bit of room for improvement. The food was decent. It's better than Worlds. It's better than most events, in my opinion. Optic might have them beat on food at their own home events, but yeah.
Texas.
Yeah, it's Texas. looking forward to Salt Lake. That's going to be a blast. We know Space Station is going to hit it out of the park, and the food's going to be hopefully good there too. So, yeah, anything you guys want to say before we wrap it up? We've been going on for about an hour and a half, I believe.
No, I got
Go ahead.
nothing else to say. I think we covered a whole slew of stuff. I'm looking forward to SLC.
Fuck yeah.
And these next 3 online events.
Still seeing Worlds are going to be fun.
Yeah, we got 3 events. We got some FFA series coming up for the Native Game is putting on, so shout out to them for helping out the community. Although their team's not very good, we appreciate the FFA. Appreciate y'all having actual merch booth where other partner teams aren't even showing up, so that's great too. And hopefully we get to see it at SOC as well. Hopefully you don't look as bored next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who runs there? I did hear one good thing about the Native booth. Didn't they have the players running it once they got eliminated?
No, not that I saw.
I heard like APG was like running the booth, and you could like, talk to them.
We were by the booth
might
for
have
the
came.
most part at all times. I never saw APG or anyone from Native.
Nah,
I heard that happened on the days 2 and 3.
It might have, but I mean,
It could have.
It
It
could
the
have.
Splayer minutes that we weren't there.
It
but
could have
I
been a
saw
brief
Lethal at
moment.
Sen.
Yeah.
I mean,
Lethal was at Sen for a minute, like for a hot while on Sunday.
I mean, I saw some of the. We saw Stellar at the SSG booth.
Yeah.
At one point, there was Elmite. He's usually around the booth. I saw him.
Saw Roy once.
Yeah, we saw Roy. I saw Roy twice, but yeah, I should have taken him up on the autograph because I didn't have a pen on me. But it is what it is.
Well, I'll have a lot of those pens with me. Come SLC and Worlds.
I just bought some. I got some now.
I have 40 different colors.
Damn.
It was cool to see a snakebite on the desk for a bit.
Yeah, shout out. Yeah. I didn't get to watch that part.
That was one of the highlights, I guess, of the stream, was seeing Snakebite on the desk for a bit.
We did get to sit next to Snakebite pretty much, like right below us.
For grand finals.
He was with his dad.
But we forgot about the drama.
Oh, the phase drama. Yeah, we briefly. I didn't really get to see it.
We didn't no details.
We heard that they were
details.
arguing after the pure incident. The pure fucking series.
The pure incident.
I heard they were arguing.
Going at it apparently, like borderline yelling at each other.
I don't know. Like what was said.
We don't know what was said. We don't know what it was about. We know it was directly after a 3-0 loss. And that they were pretty heated.
Yeah.
I think next podcast we could probably talk about if we think FaZe are bouncing back based off what we see online. We could talk about who's looking the most prepared for SLC. And I think there'll be a lot of good stuff once we wait a couple weeks and let some storylines play out. So
yeah, I think we'll see FaZe bounce back. I think that's going to be the biggest thing we see in the difference between Atlanta and SOC. I think FaZe is going to bounce back. Optic, I don't think much is going to change. I think they'll probably come, maybe they'll probably come with the same attitude,
keep that fire underneath them.
Yeah, they'll come with the same passion.
I feel like they're a little more passionate. I think they might take a step up, but
very possible.
I'm biased, so I'm a fan.
Because it's the Salt Lake City event, I'm automatically just going to say I think Space Station are going to be in the grand finals. I don't know. Like the only event that they haven't been in the grand finals was London, and they.
Or maybe the hosting your own major curse comes to them.
We will see. I mean, here's the thing. I think
Space Station will make the grand finals on theirs.
I think if anybody other than Space Station was going to win this event, I think Optic would be that team. We still got to see FaZe kind of prove it to us now, because now they did not.
FaZe
they did not have a good run.
No,
FaZe was bad at Arlington. Like, they got destroyed by Optic.
Mm-hmm.
They just got beat by Optic again. They're struggling against Optic this year. Optic's been the most consistent, second at every event. They just have to up their gear for one more series and maybe get to winner's side of grand finals, which honestly, that could happen. Shopify needs to win on a Sunday. There's a lot of things that we got to see happen,
Absolutely.
And I'm excited. It's going to be a great year.
Yeah, and hopefully we see Pure come back strong as they did, and Shopify. Hopefully they can ice up on Sunday. Maybe we'll see another year 2 repeat where we see maybe another team other than the top 3 being in the grand finals.
Sentinels can step it up. Maybe Complexity gets more experience.
Pure Shopify grand finals. Let's go.
I'm down for that. Totally down for that.
Shopify grand finals. Let's go.
I can't see 2 teams of big 3 or all 3 of them not make it. Like this, so
it's not about seeing. This is all wishful hopes.
You'd have to get them in the
You're
same
in Shopify grand finals for an event.
Yeah, that's.
I still want Optic to win Worlds though, just because I want to see Formal retire after he wins a second one.
I don't think he's gonna retire. I think he's gonna switch back to Call of Duty.
I think he's gonna switch to a different game altogether.
He's gonna go to Valorant console,
like Valorant, Apex, something, and just a whole different game. Go win something somewhere else so he can be like, yes, I'm God at FPS.
Win a 3rd title. God, that
win a 3rd title in a separate game. So he can claim the throne as FPS God.
I mean, he's already kind of FPS God, but
he is FPS God.
He wouldn't get beat by anyone.
He's God.
Generations if he did it on a 3rd game.
Especially like a super popular one like CS:GO, Valorant, Apex, because I seen him played a lot Overwatch. Even though it seems kind of dying / dead.
I don't hear anybody talk about Overwatch anymore, like at all.
After the whole fiasco, I think of 2 years ago, it just plummeted.
The Overwatch 2 launch was worse than the Halo Infinite launch.
Really?
So.
Holy shit! Yeah. That's a monumental fuck up there. Then we know how.
On top of the fiascos that was going on in the esports scene for them as well, they just boom But Infinite I did see him play a lot. He got the Masters.
Well, it's up to Formal, man. Like I'd love to see him just keep playing Halo, but
Formal can do.
So do I. I would love to keep him in Halo.
But yeah, I mean, I guess there's a lot of Call of Duty fans out there that love to see him to return to that game, but it is what it is. I
just think that would be the biggest upset for Optic's roster. So I want to see what would come of that if they lose Formal to retirement or another game.
Yeah.
I don't know who could fill that
shoes.
void.
There's Formal is such a player on such a pedestal. Like there's really what veterans coming in, what skilled players coming in to kind of do both those things.
I think they could take whoever they wanted. Realistically,
of course they could.
They can't say
Optic's a better org than most. You could poach even from the top teams like SSG.
You sit there and be like, you want to
I
compete for Optic?
I don't think you would be able to poach from SSG, especially you'd have to somehow keep the main. You would have to keep Stellar and Eco together, right? Optic apparently, rumor had it, is that they tried to poach Stellar.
Well, it sounds like Stellar wanted to, but he had already signed a contract.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it was totally possible. But
which Stellar's is over at the end of this year, if I remember correctly.
Correct.
If I heard from someone.
Yeah, they just signed him for 2 years, so I was smart on their part. It kept it more competitive, I think, because I don't know if that team could have been stopped. But
I'm curious to see what would happen. Like if a top team lost literally a top player, how was that team going to bounce back?
Yeah, or I mean,
again,
I know Renegade is addicted to winning. Like if FaZe don't do hot in a 3rd event this year, I could totally see him.
And then that begs the question: now who's FaZe going to pick up? Because they probably burned that. I don't know. Maybe they didn't, but I can't see them picking Lethal back up.
I think
no, I don't think it would be Lethal. I think what would happen is they would look at some of the young guns. Yeah, it would be crazy.
Somebody needs
I think Last Shot would be one of the top.
I was just
about to say Last Shot.
For them specifically, definitely Last Shot. There's some other options too, but I think he's the highest on the board.
Druck's up there.
Yeah, Druck might be second or third. He probably somewhere in that round.
But I mean, we can go and we could rank our top 25 Halo players another time. We'll have a whole off season to talk about that.
Oh
so.
yeah. Yeah, guys. Let's.
I need to get my fan back on. I'm dying.
We're gonna wrap it up here. That was great podcast. I think we got a lot covered. But looking forward to SLC and we'll probably do another podcast right before that, like after these next couple opens are taking place, and that way we can.
Yeah, I think so.
SLC is the 6th and then 8th, right?
Yeah, 6th to the 8th, September 6th to 8th. I know there's gonna be Greg's gonna be there, C4 is gonna be there, I'm gonna be there.
Yep. Oh yeah, and shout out to Fulcrum too, who also came to Atlanta. We got to see him, so.
Yeah, we got to meet up
That
with
was
him.
cool.
Maybe we'll have to
For a little bit. For only a little bit, but we got to
post that meetup, maybe a photo on our socials or something. That would be cool.
Yeah, we got some Pro Talk pictures with him, and then another.
We have a Pro Talk picture with him and us in it.
You also Matt, did
I'll
you
have to
meet
post it.
Rated, Smeal, and Jake and them?
Yeah, I did get to meet a Rated. Shmuel.
No,
I don't even remember, to be honest. I remember meeting a Rated though, for sure. Yeah, he came and found me, so
Yeah,
that was
I'd love
cool.
to meet them someday, but
Yeah, he was a really cool guy.
across the states.
Hopefully, maybe some of these guys can show up to Worlds. So
I think Fulcrum's coming. I'll be at Worlds. I think we'll all be at Worlds,
Yep.
which will be cool.
I've already got everything booked,
At least
pretty
Mythic
much.
Gaming crew.
Yeah, we're all booked up.
Yeah, but well, guys, this will be the end of the podcast. Stay tuned for the next one here. Whenever that is, we'll let you guys know on the socials. So go follow Mythic Gaming 117 on Twitter, and as well as with these guys, Quick Fuse, Only User Frag, Mr. Epic Beast, and myself, Legendary C4. And other than that, I think this is the end of this. So take it easy. Peace.
If you're here, if you made it this far, click like and subscribe
Yes.
right here on the YouTube video.
Like and subscribe, yes, and go follow us on Twitch when we do stream the next one, which will absolutely be a thing. So, all right, take it easy, guys. All right.